Every culture throughout history has had good things about it and bad things about it. Ancient Rome serves as a source of fascination for many men. And in this video, I'm going to look at how men lived their lives during this time. How did they fill their day with work, leisure, and exercise? And I will bring these ideas into the modern day to see how you could live like a Roman in the 21st century. I think there are some interesting benefits that we could learn from this ancient culture and adapt for our time. So let's begin by looking at the working life of an ancient Roman. We hear a lot today about work-life balance, but the Romans were 2,000 years ahead of us. For most Romans, the workday began at dawn and ended at noon, leaving the entire afternoon and evening for exercise and relaxation. That's just a 6-hour workday. I believe starting the workday early is a very wise move. I wake up with the sunrise, have a shower, get ready, and normally begin working around 7:30. No day of rest existed in the Roman week. There was no Monday to Friday schedule. However, there were many days on which no business was conducted, as many as 160 days a year. The Romans' appreciation of balance is a powerful antidote to the hustle culture of today. Although it would be hard to make this a part of your own life unless you own your own business and you dictate your own hours. I see big advantages to rising early so you can power through those important tasks and leave the rest of the day free while feeling fulfilled by your accomplishments. I understand that waking up early isn't always easy, but Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius shared some advice on this in his Meditations. At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I have to go to work as a human being. What do I have to complain of if I'm going to do what I was born for, the things that I was brought into the world to do? Or is this what I was created for, to huddle under the blankets and stay warm? The baths were a huge part of life for men and women in ancient Rome. Most attended daily, and it was not uncommon to spend several hours in there. The baths had 3 rooms: a tepidarium, or relaxation room, a caldarium, or hotter room, and a frigidarium, or cooling room. Today we have hot tubs, saunas, swimming pools, and cold plunges, which serve a similar purpose. The baths also had gyms, and the way that ancient Romans worked out is not too dissimilar to the way we work out today. They used dumbbells and medicine balls for weight training. They ran, and they boxed with punching bags. Ancient Romans also played sports that are comparable with sports that we play today. For example, they had a game similar to tennis, but it was played with the palm of the hand instead of a racket. And they played a ball game called harpastum that was similar to rugby. You might see the popularity of health clubs and ice plunges today as a return to these Roman ideals. And I think one of the best things about our current society is how much we value health and fitness. Personally, I have a routine that I like to do 4 or 5 times a week at the spa, where I will go and have a hot tub for 15 minutes, jump in the pool and do a couple of laps, and then have a sauna for about 10 minutes. What makes this therapeutic for me is that I'm unwinding mentally the entire time. I don't have my phone with me. It's somewhat a form of meditation, but I allow myself to think, and sometimes I get my best ideas during these times. Theatre was the main art form and source of entertainment in Roman times. It was enjoyed by people of all ranks who would gather in open-air theatres to enjoy comedies and tragedies. Whereas today, theatre is more of a niche art form only enjoyed by a small section of society, in ancient Rome, it was the mass form of entertainment, much like Netflix would be today. Other forms of public entertainment included chariot racing, gladiator battles, and public executions. These spectacles were often very cheap or even free, giving the public plenty of opportunity to enjoy their leisure time to the fullest. In the evening, sometimes there would be processions and festivals with music and dancing. Meanwhile, at-home entertainment mostly consisted of board games, dice games, and conversation. Excuse me while I just have my ancient Roman breakfast, because ancient Romans ate very little during the day, just a glass of water for breakfast, and then some cold meats, cheeses, and bread for lunch. Supper was the big meal of the day, served around sundown and going late into the night. How lavish supper would be depended on your wealth, but it was not unusual to have as many as 7 courses, and of course plenty of wine. Restaurants did not exist in Roman times as we know them today, so it was normal to eat at home, but also to invite friends over for a dinner party. While the average Roman diet consisted mostly of cereals, legumes, and vegetables, the rich enjoyed meat and fish and delicacies that were imported from the colonies. But of course, and unlike today, the diet of everyone was dictated by what was available seasonally. Wine was the drink of choice, and many Romans consumed a bottle a day. However, Romans also understood the importance of drinking lots of water, and water was readily available via public fountains. Ancient Roman men were much more philosophical about their lives than many men are today. Much of Roman philosophy was adopted and adapted from Greek philosophy. The works of Seneca the Younger and Marcus Aurelius allowed Stoicism to flourish during Roman times, and many men still find inspiration in these ideas today. However, there was another prominent philosophy in ancient Rome known as Epicureanism. This philosophy believes that pleasure is the intrinsic goal, and that found its way into many areas of Roman life, like their late-night parties and orgies. There is a lot to explore actually with Epicureanism, and I would love to do a video dedicated to this topic in the future. But whichever one you believe, a Roman understood these philosophies and allowed their teachings to guide his life. So, given all I have learned about ancient Roman life, I decided to imagine what my day-to-day life might look like if I tried to apply these principles to my modern lifestyle. First, I would wake up around 6 AM, grab a glass of water, and get straight to work. One advantage of doing this today is that nobody else is working, very few people are even awake, so you really have no distractions. Then I would be done by 12 and head to the baths, or the modern equivalent, the health club. I would work out with a combination of weight training, running, and boxing. Then it would be time to take a dip in the hot tub, swim a couple of laps in the pool, and take a sauna. So far this doesn't sound too dissimilar from my actual life, except for what happens in the afternoon. If I were living like a Roman, I would spend my afternoon perhaps catching a matinee performance at the theatre or watching a live sporting event. We still have so many live entertainment options to enjoy, but prices these days mean they aren't affordable for many people to do on a daily basis. Then it would be time for dinner. I would invite my friends over and host a dinner party. Unlike the Roman man, I do not have slaves to prepare my food, so perhaps I would order in. After dinner, we would relax with some board games and discuss important issues of the time. All in all, it sounds like quite a relaxing and lavish life. But it's also a very constructive life with a good balance of work, exercise, and cultural activities. Personally, I can see how modern society would benefit by taking some cues from ancient Rome. I hope you've enjoyed today's video and learning all about the ways of the ancient Roman man. The lifestyle I have discussed in this video is the life of a wealthy Roman. However, it's important to note that many people lived in dangerous, cramped conditions and suffered great poverty, and around 20 to 30% of people were slaves, according to historians' estimates. I want to hear from you in the comments. What's your impression of ancient Roman society? Do you think it's an era that you would have enjoyed living through? Now, if you want to maximize your productivity and seize every second, maybe I can suggest my video on time management skills for gentlemen. In this video, I share with you the exact method that I use to get the most out of life while working through 2 jobs and juggling various other commitments. I hope you'll find that one useful. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll speak with you all in the comments.